What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/AmITheButthole. Alright, this story's called, Am I the Butthole for Not Attending My Friend's Wedding on the Day of My Family's Death Anniversary? Whoa. 7 years ago, I, 35 female, lost my husband, daughter, and mother to a car accident. They were hit by a drunk driver that drove through a red light and killed all of them on impact. Their deaths greatly affected me, and if it weren't for my friends and years of therapy, I would be in a much lower place. I am very thankful for their support and have been able to process my grief properly. 2 years ago, I took a job offer that provided more benefits than my current one and moved far away from my city to another. I travel back to occasionally meet up with friends and, of course, to visit my family's graves on their death anniversary. It is a 7-hour car drive or around an hour by plane. Due to COVID, last year I drove to avoid contact with people and stayed at my old house. This year I plan to do the same thing, but ran into an issue with my friend having her wedding in my old city. My friend, Amy, 33 female, fake name, announced she was engaged last year to her boyfriend of 3 months. My friend group and I were quite shocked as we never even met him, nor did we know she was dating anyone as we usually tell each other. But nonetheless, we congratulated her and were happy for her. They were supposed to have their wedding last year, but couldn't due to Brovid and postponed it to this year. We are not in the US, by the way, and Brovid cases are now less than 10 here in my country. We are allowed gatherings of less than 15 people, and that is what Amy decided to do for her wedding. About a week ago, Amy called me privately to tell me her plans for the wedding. She told me that she is having it on the same day of my family's death anniversary and would like me to not visit their graves and just attend the wedding instead. I was quite shocked that the wedding was planned that specific day and questioned as to why she picked that day. Amy told me she just liked the numbered date and told me that I can't just gatekeep a certain day. Then I asked her why can't I go visit my family's grave. She told me that she doesn't want my sadness and grief to take the attention at her wedding. I was incredibly stunned at what she said. I know I am quite emotional, but I know how to compose and behave myself at certain events. Here's where I think I am the butthole. I told Amy that unfortunately I will not miss out on visiting my family's graves. I tried to ask for a compromise and told her if my emotions were that much of a problem, I'll attend their graves after the wedding was over. She said she wants my support for the entire day and dedicate it towards her, but she'll think about my offer. What? It's been a week and I have not heard from her. I feel like I should just go to the wedding to keep peace as I owe it to her, especially after all the support and love she gave me after my family's death. But it still doesn't feel right to just attend the wedding and forget about my family. Would I be a butthole if I told her I won't be attending the wedding at all if she hasn't reached a decision? No, you're not a butthole. She's just freaking crazy. What the hell? If she's your friend, she shouldn't expect anything in return for being your friend. Like, this is bullcrap, bonkers, and just a bunch of baloney. Okay, OP, you are 100% within your rights to just to freaking visit your family at their graves or whatever. What the hell is this woman's problem? Stupid ass Amy. Alright, this story's called Update. Am I the butthole for not attending my friend's wedding? Okay. Hello, Reddit. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who replied. I was not expecting my post to get this level of attention. I have read all of your comments, and thank you once again. I am in tears and became an emotional mess after reading your thoughtful responses. Thank you for the love and support. I've always felt as some sort of emotional burden to my friends, so thank you for your encouraging messages and telling me to keep my head up high. Even though we are all strangers on the internet, it sort of felt like I had gained a new family. My heart goes out to the people who have messaged me privately of their experiences with losing their loved ones to drunk driving as well. Please know I have felt your pain. You are not alone in this, and I wish you all the love in this world. Oh my god. I'm gonna cry. Now for the update. I did what some of you suggested and called my other friends to let them know what Amy had asked of me. They were quite livid and angry for me, as they had no idea what Amy was planning for the wedding. We arranged a Zoom call with her the next day to discuss why she's being so insensitive to me. Well, the call was quite the battle. It started off calm, then Amy just blew up. You guys were right when you said that Amy was jealous of the attention that I had received during the time of my family's death anniversary. Her wedding was a way to shift the attention towards her. What? She tried to explain to us by having a wedding on that day, it will turn a negative situation into a positive one. How thoughtful of her. I said that sarcastically. When she realized she wasn't convincing enough, it felt as though a mask had fallen from her face and she started yelling and insulting me. She said that she is tired of having to play the supportive friend role and that it's been 7 years. I should just get over it by now or go join my family in the ground. Whoa. My friends lost their temper and called her every name in the book. I am honestly just shocked and disappointed at the person who used to be my friend. It breaks my heart knowing I lost another person in my life, but I guess you guys are right in the sense that she never really was a friend. I now look back at our friendship and realized it was often one-sided on my part. I wish it didn't take me so long to realize it. No one in our friend group of 6 people are going to her wedding now. We have decided to go no contact with Amy and block her on all social media. My friends have offered to go visit my family's graves together with me. Oh my god. I accepted and we are now planning to make a scrapbook with my family's pictures. For once, I'm actually looking forward to this day and we'll start to plan more eventful activities like this. Thank you once again to everyone for helping me through this, and please remember, do not drink and drive. I am begging you, please don't. Please drink responsibly and drive safely, everyone. I'm emotional, man. I'm not crying. No tears in these eyes, man. No tears in these eyes. But anyway, OP's friends, they are amazing. Freaking troopers. Amy, she sucks donkey balls. Screw Amy. All my homies hate Amy. But damn. Amy needs to realize that OP lost not just her husband and daughter, but her freaking mom. And also, not just her mom and husband, but her freaking daughter. And not just her mom and daughter, but her freaking husband. All 3 of those losses are freaking significant. Just losing one of those is enough to send people over the edge. She lost 3. And Amy wanted the attention? I guarantee you, if OP could freaking trade all the attention and love and support she's gotten for her family back, I guarantee she'd make that trade. Alright, this story's called, Am I the Butthole for Lying About My Wife Having Fertility Issues? My wife is trans, and we met for the first time after she fully medically and surgically transitioned. Nobody besides her family, and my sister, who found out on her own, really knows this, and she wants to keep it that way. Anyway, we both wanted to have kids young, so we adopted our little girl before the pandemic started. Because of everything that's been going on, my parents didn't really get to meet her until last week, and my sister and her husband were also there. My parents are very conservative, and they've been a bit disappointed about the fact that we adopted. Nothing really explicit, just subtle things. After they met our daughter, though, they melted a little, because how could you not? But they still wanted to know why we adopted. I felt a bit clever saying fertility issues, because we do have fertility issues, just not the kind my parents probably thought. My sister didn't say anything at the time, but she let loose on me later on. I forgot that she has fertility issues, and she started yelling at me saying that she's been spending tens of thousands of dollars on in vitro, how depressed it's made her, and how her marriage is on the rocks, and how she's traumatized from her miscarriages. I didn't know she had any. She told me that she trusted me with that and that I'm immature. I told her that we technically do have fertility issues, and she said it's different because we chose to have ours, and we knew what we were getting into. She said that it wasn't our issue to it wasn't our issue to appropriate. I don't like that word anymore. All the women I dated before my wife were cis, but I didn't fall in love with any of them. I don't think I chose to fall in love with her, so that made me pretty upset. I wouldn't have felt like I was in the wrong until my sister told me that I could have just said that I felt like it would be better for the world to adopt. I still think it would have been met with a lot of suspicion and criticism criticism from my parents, but that would have been the easiest way to avoid anyone getting hurt. And now I've built this unnecessary rift between my sister and I. My wife says that we do have fertility issues, and she feels bad for my sister because of everything she's going through, but ultimately we have nothing to apologize for because we told the truth. I don't know what to think about all this. Am I the butthole? No, sir, you're not the butthole, alright? Your sister seems to be a little insecure about her fertility issues. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that she doesn't have any right to be upset about them, because yes, that can be a devastating thing. I mean, I don't know, like, from my own personal experience, but I mean, I can just imagine, like, if I had fertility issues, or like if I was married and my wife had fertility issues, then like, yeah, it would suck. I mean, I don't think I'd leave. I'm not talking about this, but my point is, sisters seem to think that it was kind of OP, sort of kind of doing an inside joke with sister or something like that, kind of. I don't know. That's what I kind of got from it, and she thought it was inappropriate, and then she kind of just, I don't know. But yeah, OP, you didn't do anything wrong. Just talk to your sister, sit down with her, and just, you know, let her know, hey, you're there for her, and you're sorry that, like, she kind of took it that way, but you really meant nothing, no ill will toward her, or whatever, and that you guys do have fertility issues. Eventually she'll get over it, I'm sure. I hope. Oof. Alright, here's the update, Aroni. So it's been about 3 months since the incident in the post. Our daughter is still the most precious girl in the world, and my wife was very complimented by a few of the commenters. Even though at the end of the day, I don't think it was wrong to refer to it as fertility issues, I apologized to my sister once she cooled down anyway. She's been going through a lot. Sometimes things aren't about being right so much as they're about family. That's it, my man. Thanks to everyone who told us we had nothing to apologize about, though. My sister forgave us and we hugged it out. She even apologized about telling her she was appropriating issues, which honestly offended me the most. But that wasn't the end of it. My wife couldn't get rid of this nagging feeling that maybe something could go wrong again and my sister or her husband would tell my parents. So she told me she wanted to come out to them. It was a hard decision for us because I love them and I was terrified they would disown me and spread gossip about her, but what can I say? My wife owns me. It's her over everyone else for me. She kept getting scared every time we agreed we were going to say something, and it ended up coming out when my mom was telling my wife how much I cried when I broke my arm. She said the most she ever cried was getting a soccer ball launched into her balls. I love my wife. She had to explain it a bit to them, and they're still a little uncomfortable, but nothing has really changed. At first, they were horrified, but they always really liked her, and I guess they couldn't just erase that, especially after she explained her situation to them. If anything, I'd say she's made them a bit more open-minded, and I actually got my sister and her husband looking into adoption. Everybody wants a daughter like ours. Anyway, thanks for the advice, everyone. I hope this update makes everyone's day a little brighter. This is a way better ending than I could have ever freaking hoped. Holy crap. Okay, freaking OP's wife, the parents, and the sister, and the sister's husband, everyone's getting along. She's gonna adopt a kid, probably, hopefully, and that kid's gonna be happy, and OP's kid's happy. It's just wonderful. The world is a fantastic place, isn't it? At least until you read the next story. I just ruined it for myself. Alright, this story's called, Would I Be the Butthole If I Fire a Kid Because His Mother Is Harassing Me? I, late 20s, run a department in a startup and hired a few student workers, 17 to 21, to conduct classes. He's not great. He shows up late, doesn't prepare, but when addressed, he started to improve a lot. Still not as good as the others, but he gets the job done. His mom, however, she knows me through a mutual friend, and she has constantly been emailing me, asking why she doesn't have access to the internal systems of the company so she can check on his work, sending me voice notes of her screaming at him after he forgets about meetings, sending me messages to excuse him from these classes he's supposed to conduct last minute because she didn't finish up her rounds, or even when he just forgot. The last incident was when he showed up 25 minutes late, didn't even notify us, he knew I'd be out for the day, and proceeded to bill for more time than he was there for. I wrote note on his timesheet that he was overbilling and that he needs to inform us if he wasn't going to make it on time. A voice note followed, screaming. Mommy Dearest saw the note I made, screaming at it, and I just can't anymore. I feel like a complete butthole for firing him over his mother, and I know his behavior justifies him being fired, but he's been working really hard on improving, and I can see the difference. Edit, to answer all the questions, I've spoken to both of them to cool it down with her behavior. I blocked the mom. She contacts me through his account, so she had access to our systems anyway, which is already an issue. Luckily, I've ensured he has no access to any systems with info on the minors taking the courses. This could have opened a whole can of worms. We hired the students because the model is focused on students teach students. We have kids that go through the program and can lead full classes at the age of 15. Badass. It's made for low-cost communities so kids can be taught how to be leaders. I love my job. It has changed so many lives and gotten teens to bloom. We have a handful of paid instructors for when the interns, the kids paying cents for the programs, can't make it. Legally, I'm good to go, thus making this an would I be the butthole problem. HR is fully supportive of my decision as well as the higher-ups. They're actually encouraging it, but gave me the final call. I would say, give him another chance, but get on his ass, okay? Make sure he doesn't think he can slip up like that, all right? The whole point of this is to make these kids into responsible adults, right? Well, he's improving, which is good, but you gotta make sure he doesn't slip up like that. His mom, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do about his mom. Make sure you get on him and tell him if the mom keeps on harassing you, it's gonna be him facing the consequences, okay? Just make sure the accountability's all on him, all right? I guess. I don't know. This is a tough situation, man. I don't envy you. Sucker. I'm kidding. No, it's a great job. Alright, this one's called Update. Would I be the ball of a fire kid because mom rapped me? I know it didn't get that much traction, but here we go! I took the advice and consulted with HR on this as well. So, sad update. He got fired. We took the time and HR spoke to him about his conduct and performance. He admitted to slacking and promised to keep his mom under control. She quickly deleted all the messages on Facebook she sent to me to remove any trace thereof, but the emails remain. He promised to keep everything up to standard and work as hard as possible. Attaboy! The focus was on his quality of work. His mother was mentioned, but just as an afterthought of appropriate work conduct. He then proceeded to amaze us for a total of 5 days before going back into his old habits again and being completely useless and even aggressive towards other team members making slight mistakes. He even charged 4 times the amount of time for a quarter of the quality of work the other team members produce. So his 2-week probation ended after 9 days. I hope his mom never does this again, but all in all, his work ethic is what got him fired in the end. Damn, dude, did I not freaking predict, or whatever, like the course of actions, I don't know. What I recommended is what ended up being done. And guess what? He still got fired. That's not good, but hey, it was on him. He was accountable. Alright, this story's called, Am I the butthole for yelling at my husband then leaving him at the clinic after his prank? Me, female 28, and my husband, male 34, have been married for a year. Before I met him, I got a dog named Ollie, a German Shepherd, that was originally my sister's, but she passed away and I immediately took him to live with me. Oh, that's really sad. My husband adores Ollie. He sometimes jokes that he's married to me only because of Ollie. He likes making jokes and doing pranks, but some of them are downright nasty. He'd always get me worried by lying, saying Ollie ran off when he was hiding him in a place I didn't know about. He knows how much worried and stressed out those pranks make me, but he says my reaction is priceless and worth the yelling and lashing afterwards. Ollie needed to be taken to the veterinary clinic for a checkup. My husband said he'd handle it. During the second visit to get the results, I received a call from my husband and his voice sounded like he wasn't okay. I asked what was wrong. I got got really worried after he said it was about Ollie. I was starting to shake. I kept asking what was going on, and he told me that Ollie's been diagnosed with cancer. Oh no. He said he wanted me to come over to the clinic as soon as possible because Ollie was with the vet. I couldn't stand. I started asking, is that why Ollie lost weight lately? And such. I rushed to the clinic and found my husband standing near the entrance with Ollie. First thing I noticed was him laughing hysterically, telling me that I really bought into his lie. I was confused. He said it was just a prank. Ollie is perfectly healthy and handed me the results to check. After I checked, I lost it. I lashed out at him. Not gonna lie, I called him awful names and his face suddenly turned red like he didn't expect me to react that way. He argued that I made it a big deal, obviously, and was being mean to him over a prank that didn't even last an hour. I kept lashing out. I didn't give him a chance to keep talking. I took Ollie and the keys and I left. I arrived to the clinic in a taxi. I left him at the clinic while me and Ollie went home by the car. 3 hours later, he came back and was upset. He usually laughs, even in serious situations, but this time he didn't. He argued that I shouldn't have left him like that and that I overreacted. Said he was just trying to make good memories to look back on and laugh at, but I was unnecessarily overreacting. He stopped talking after that. Just wanted to mention that this started months after his father's passing. His family said he never mentions his dad nor keeps anything of his, although they were very close. I never met his father, but they told me he wasn't suffering from anything, and his death was sudden, and my husband had a hard time processing. This could be the reason for his behavior. Okay, initially the husband was the butthole because while I'm a sucker for a good joke or a good prank, alright, joking about cancer is not that's in poor taste. That's in poor taste. But wifey definitely overreacted. OP, you overreacted. You shouldn't have freaking left him at the clinic. That was a bit much. But you were upset. But you gotta see that you did wrong there. Husband, he's gotta chill it with the intensity of the pranks or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably the type of prank or joke I would do, but I can say right now that it's in poor taste, especially with the dog, because like that was OP's sister's dog, and I can imagine that it's more than just the relationship with the dog that she's worried about, but like maybe losing a part of her connection to her sister now that she's gone. So yes, husband really shouldn't have done that, but OP, you gotta, don't leave someone somewhere. Like, that's not cool. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.